boom, 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 boom. $20. 20 bucks. You're on the line for 20 bucks. Hi, Jabor from Montreal. And welcome everybody to Maggie, Mrs. Calabash Cooks and Derek. And welcome back. Lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to do a red curried pork tenderloin and squash and a Virginia apple pudding, which is a little bit different. Now, I've already made a pudding earlier, so I'm just going to have to go back to the stove. It's smelling, I think it's cooked. So we're going to have to take that one out and we'll make another one in the show. It takes too long to cook for the show. So anyway, come on. It's lovely. We've got double. So come back with me to the back here. I can smell it. Oh, that's hot, very hot. And can you see, Derek?
Yes, I certainly can.
So that's a cooked Virginia pudding. So I'll just put it, where can I put it? I'm going to put it over here. So it can be cooling. And I'll show you how to make that one later. Now, for the red curried pork, we actually got to make a paste for that. And I've put my glasses somewhere. I'm going back to get them. We're going to, for the paste, we've got a finger pepper. Now, I'd never seen finger peppers before. And I searched. I was in Ottawa. I thought, well, I'm bound to get them in Ottawa. No, couldn't find them. Came back to our basics in Kentville, and lo and behold, finger peppers. And they're called finger peppers because they're the shape of a finger. And I read about them, and they said they're quite hot. So I've used a red one. In here I've got some lemongrass and some ginger, and we'll talk about lemongrass a little bit later. Onions, chopped onions. Fish sauce and oil, a little water, and some brown sugar. Now, I always, as you know, go a little bit light on the sugar. But that is a taste. It's a personal taste. If you feel that you want some more sugar in, just put some in. It's going to make a noise, but we've got to puree this until it's smooth. Let's have a look at that. That looks pretty good. Let's just move that over there. Now, half of this is going in with the squash. The other half is going around the pork. Today I'm using frozen squash. You can use frozen or fresh, and we're going to roast that. So about half, put about half in like that, mix it up well. That's going into a roasting tin, and we're going to roast that for about 5 or 10 minutes. It doesn't need much with it being frozen. If it's fresh, it'll need about 10 minutes. And we're just going to put that in the oven at 4:30. I've got mine on at about 4:30 to 4:35. My oven is a little bit slow, so come back with me. I've got this roasting pan. So we're just going to spread that out like that. I've got a little juice there. Spread it out. Now, there's going to be some grunts and groans. I love this pan. As you can see, it's well used, but it's cast iron and it is very, very heavy. So, excuse me if I grunt and groan as I pull it in and out the oven. It's called old age. It's like weightlifting. Whew. There we are, we've done it. There'll be another grunt and groan as I get it out because the pork's going to go in there. I've got a little oil in here because we're going to put the, we're going to rub the pork with the rest of the, with the paste that we made and a little seasoning, and we're going to fry it off so that it gets nice and brown on the outside, and that helps with the cooking. So come back with me. I've got a tenderloin of pork. It is about a pound in weight, and I'm going to just wash my hands before I touch it because I've been touching other things. So come back with me over here. Where's my hand soap? There we are. When you get a tenderloin of pork, you'll notice that there's some membrane on it. Just take a little knife and cut away the membrane and just trim it. I just like to trim mine of all the fat. The old days of pork have that were, it really has to be cooked within an inch of its life. Those days have gone because the pigs, my granddad kept pigs, and we had a big boiler and we used to make what's called pig swill, which was anything that was left over from the meals, potatoes, and sometimes the pigs would have worms, and those days have gone, well and truly gone. So there's no harm. I like pork. We have a difference of opinion. Derek likes his well cooked. I like mine to be a little pink. So it usually ends up on the well cooked side, I must confess, but I do like mine to be pink inside. I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on there. And then take that back over to the stove, and we're going to saute it until it's nice and brown. Let's just turn that over like that. So you see there's not actually any curry powder in this. It relies on the spiciness from the ginger and the peppers. And it's got lemongrass in, which gives a very subtle flavour. We'll talk about that in a minute. Come back with me. I want to make sure that this is nice and hot so that the outside sears straight away and it doesn't absorb the oil. Just put the hand over, and then I'm having a sneak preview in there. I put some baked potatoes in earlier so that we can have baked potatoes with it. So I thought that makes a lovely meal. That's feeling nice and hot. We don't want it to be too hot. There we are. There. And I'm actually going to add, I'm not going to waste any of this. It's too good to waste. You can hear it sizzling. It's going to splatter.
You can see it sizzling.
You can see it sizzling and you can see it splattering. We'll turn it back again in a minute, but I just want to, and whilst that's doing that, we'll talk about the lemongrass. Let me just put that back there. So, what did I do with my lemongrass? Here we are. I'll come back to the stove, Derek. Lemon, can you see that?
Yeah.
That's lemongrass.
Hold it over that's where you're cooking.
Like that?
Just a second. You know, a little over the pork.
Pardon?
Over the pork. Flat. Flat, Maggie.
Flat.
Over the pork. Like that. Except it's shiny on top.
Oh, I see.
Paint it a little bit.
Look, there we are.
That's it. That's it. Thank you.
But it comes in a little packet like this. So you'll find it in the produce department, and it's up at the top where they keep the herbs. And you'll find it in there. Now, you don't want dried lemongrass like that. That's okay, but really you need to find a nice, tender, young piece of lemongrass, and you take off the outside pieces. It's a bit of a, I'm going to just turn the pork and we're going back to the butcher block. There we are. And we're going back to the butcher block, Derek.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going to put my glasses on, then I can see what I'm doing. It does help.
Put the piece of lemongrass on the butcher block in front of you so I can see it close up.
Can you see it now?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Move your hand away for a minute. There we go. All right.
one piece has been taken off and we need to get another piece. I don't have any fingernails, so we need to just pull it down like that so that we don't have any fibrous tissue there. So let's just peel this off like this. Can you see?
Absolutely.
And now we get rid of that. Let me put my garbage can down there. We get rid of that, and that is nice and tender. So let's take off the ends like that, and then just chop. If it says chop lemongrass, you can chop it like that. You can actually, with a larger piece, just open it up like that. And sometimes it will say just to put the lemongrass in, like you do a bay leaf, and then at the end of cooking just take out the lemongrass, and it gives a nice subtle taste of lemon. Now, I thought I wasn't going to be able to get any, and I'm thinking, oh, what can I do? I'm going back to the stove, I can smell. And I thought, what can I do? What if I can't get the lemongrass, how am I going to do the recipe? And I was talking to the produce manager of a store in Ottawa, explaining the situation, and he said, well, we don't have any lemongrass, but we do have lemon powder. I said, well, I've never heard of lemon powder. And because this was a mixed community, and he said the ladies often use the lemon powder, a little of it, if they can't use the lemongrass. So I bought some lemon powder, and I thought, what's it made out of? How do you use it? Because I'd never seen lemon powder before. And I'm going to grunt again. There we are. And you can use lemon powder in the place of lemon, in the place of lemongrass. And when I was reading, they said at a push, just a little lemon powder, and you can use that to give the flavour of lemongrass. Just a delicate flavour. So I thought, well, if that's the case, maybe you could just use a little lemon juice. And I don't see why you couldn't just use a little, not much, because it's very, very pungent, but just a little bit of lemon juice as well. So I'm going to put all those juices in there, and we're going to put that in to cook. And that should take, it'll probably take about another 15 minutes, which I don't think I've got. But anyway, there we are. That's, I don't, no, that's in the oven. We'll take it out right at the end, and it should just be about cooked. And if not, it goes back in the oven afterwards, but at least I can show you. So now, skates on. Less talking, more action, as the saying goes. We're going to make the Virginia apple pudding. Now this is a little bit different. I cook the apples in the microwave. You can do it in the on the stovetop. This is the flour and baking powder. You'll notice there's no eggs in this. Melted butter. We've got a fly, Derek.
Oh no!
You didn't catch it.
Okay.
And milk and sugar, and that's it. And we make a batter. So I've got my mixer, clonk, clonk, clonk. Here we go. It's going to make a noise. As you watch this, you'll notice the batter thickens. Can you see how the batter's thickened? If you don't have a mixer, just whisk it up by hand. It works. Let me just put that there. Now, you need a little pie dish. This is my English pie dish. As you see, it's got a hole in there to put the pie bird for the pastry crust, for the whole old-fashioned pie dish. I've used my spatula, excuse me. Ah, I put it over there. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the mixture in there, like that. It really is quite clever because the mixture goes in and the apples just go on top of the mixture. like that. And as it cooks, the mixture folds itself over the apples. Now that cooks at a slightly lower temperature than I've got the oven on at the moment. And I tested my oven yesterday and mine took 45 minutes to cook. But as I say, my oven is a little bit slow. So I would look at it after 35, 40 and 45 minutes, depending on your oven. So we start off with that and we end up with that.
Lovely.
Yeah, it is. It's quite tasty. So let's put this in the oven. There we are. I think what I'm going to do, rather than roast that pork, it's not going to be cooked in time, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to bring it back, I'm going to put it on the stove top and I'll cook it that way, and it'll cook a little bit quicker, and we'll still be roasting the squash. So if you're in a bind, you know, suddenly, yeah, time's run out for you, you've got to get out, somebody's coming for a meal, somebody's got to be out of the house, you can always do it this way. So let's just put this back on here. Oh, it's beautifully juicy. That's one thing about tenderloin, it doesn't take long to cook. There we are. And we'll just spread that out like that so that it cooks nicely. Oh, the smell is delicious. This goes very well with squash, and if you've got any green beans in the oven, it goes very well with some green beans as well. So squash and green beans and jacket potatoes. So we'll just let that cook for a few minutes, and we'll just dish up a little of the pudding, my favourite bit. I did whisk a little cream, some double cream. Just run a knife round the edge, like that. And that's why I like this flat blade knife. It's like a little palette knife. You can just go round the edge. There we are. Not going to waste any. That's our pudding. And a little cream on the pudding. And that is the Virginia apple pudding. So it's a great...
Pull it towards the back, please.
Towards the back?
Towards you. It's too far forward. There.
Okay. Okay. So that's the pudding. Let's go back and have a look at the potatoes. See if they're cooked. We'll just give the pork. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh yes, the potatoes are cooked. They're nicely... I love crispy shells on the jacket potatoes. There we are. Open those up. Ooh. Let's bring those to the table. Oh, look at those. Delightful. Excuse me whilst I have a drink. It gets a little bit warm in here. There's the potatoes. The pork is nicely cooked, funny enough. Oh, you can hear me humping and heaving and groaning. Excuse me. I'm going to move this, Derek.
Yeah.
Because I need to bring this forward. Oh, and my pork. Everything's hot, very, very hot. So I'm going to put the pork in first. Whew. And let's see if I can lift these and put these in. This is where I need 3 hands. There we are. We've still got, oh, the smell is beautiful. This is the advantage of using a frozen squash, is the cooking time. It doesn't take so long to cook. So we're just going to put that out like that. Some jacket potatoes around it. You can smell the lemon. It's beautiful. We need to clean off the serving dish. Let's get rid of that. Like that. And just a little. This will probably be the last of the nasturtiums. Just to give it that full look. So it's oranges. There you are. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. We're on the line for 20 bucks. Right, everybody, enjoy. It's a really healthy meal for you. Doesn't take a lot of cooking, and I will see you next time. And so please have a great weekend, and thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again, and we'll play out with Jabor. Now, that you spend.